Hey everybody, my name's Paul, and we
Oh,
have
and I'm Bev.
and we are trying something new here. We have so much fun with our Monday shows. We're going to move into Bev's realm of reality, and she is an ancient wisdom astrologer, esoteric astrologer, and has a lot of good information to share with all of us. And so I'm going to sit out here in the ozone.
Good place to be, Paul.
Yeah, which I usually am there. And we're gonna pick Bev's brain, and hopefully you're gonna do this every week, at least every other week, about what's happening astrologically, and what's how that relates, I guess, to the ancient wisdom. Yeah, is that what the idea is?
The ageless wisdom of which I have been a student of for 40 something years, as well as studying and practicing biotouch. Oh, that's funny. Practicing astrology. So you can't have one without the other.
Well, perfect, perfect. So now we've got 40 years of it. I guess we could call you an expert in the field.
Oh, there
There's
we
people,
go.
there's people out there 20 years calling themselves experts. So we're gonna
Oh,
we're gonna tear this apart with Bev, and I'll sit here as the stooge. And if I don't understand something, I'm gonna chime in
please.
about what's happening on the with the planets, with our life. And I guess we're starting with the solstice today. Yeah.
Yes. Summer solstice blessings to all of us too. So the summer solstice, at least in the northern hemisphere, which is where we are living, happens when the Earth's pole is tilted closest to the sun. So this is the longest day of the year for us in the northern hemisphere. So let's just get a few things, some basics here. When we talk about the sun, we're talking literally about divine consciousness. And at this point, that is in the sign of what we call Cancer, which rules the moon, by the way. And the moon is the subconscious will of humanity. And, and so the moon is in the opposite sign of Capricorn. Now, these two signs are two arms of what we call the cardinal cross. If you look at it, it really is the symbol of manifestation of the physical world in many cases. So let's delve into what Cancer is kind of all about. Every single sign has to do with the light. Cancer is the light in the form, the lighted house. And even though it's about feelings and emotions, it's the intuitive sense that needs to be nurtured and directed consciously. And that's where its polar opposite of Capricorn comes in. They both have to do with awareness, which is very important at this point in time right now. So let's look at it. The mother is the womb. It holds all forms that are to be birthed. That means a physical human form or a thought form. And because we all are here and sharing in this earth experience through the birth process, Cancer also rules the mass consciousness of humanity. So after, if you're seeing where I'm going with this, this is so timely that this solstice is coming about in 2025. So just remember, uh, all feelings begin with a thought, an idea. When we take that path of least resistance, which unfortunately has been our habit for a long time, we are feeling too much and thinking and reasoning not enough. And that is beginning to change. That's where the awareness comes in. So now it's time, and it's in our face, for us to look at what we have all agreed upon that is to be manifested in our daily living, in our experience here. What have we done? What has our thoughts that we have birthed over millennium? how have they been manifested? And we're actually seeing the result of that. More and more of humanity is beginning to register in their consciousness what needs to be looked at, what needs to be changed. So if we think of I often think we're in the Earth School. This is called the Earth School. We have the 3 R's: right thought, right word, and right action. So here we have Cancer, the sun itself, divine consciousness, is in this sign, nurturing and trying to birth the little will of humanity to come into an alignment with that so that we can now move forward. So let's take a look at, not only is it the summer solstice, but the sun itself in Cancer is making a specific aspect to 3 really big planets right now. And they are in square aspect, which is always a challenging relationship. It's challenging us to become aware of what needs to change and to bring into balance now. So let's take a look at these 3 planets. The first one is Jupiter. This is the planet of expansion, extremism, but it is also, it rules the very heart of the universe. It is our spiritual expression and those contributions that we are here to make to the greater good. It's square. The sun, the vitality, the basic power to be and to act, our energy is squaring this expansion of energy, spiritual energy right now, challenging us to take a twist on what has been happening. It's not about, we have to look deeper, delve deeper into our spiritual essence now, the love which is waiting to be expressed through the world. The second planet is Saturn, known as one of the lords of karma, of the physical world. So Saturn brings structure, limitation, for one reason, so that we can break it all down and move forward. So all of these are about growth. Everything that happens is about our growth, but it's discipline. It's our responsibility. And this is a big one right now. It is authority. What is happening? The so-called accepted authority in our world is being questioned by us. So here we have this challenging aspect with the sun, the very vitality of the universe right now, asking us to step up and take responsibility, to discipline ourselves now, to look at those structures we've created and to break them down, and to really question what we think is authority in our world. The third planet is Neptune. This is a really almost out of our control. It rules us by generations. It's not even a personal planet at this point. It rules groups of us because it is beyond our understanding. For an example, the dynamic of Neptune is its truest essence is what is called the heart of the sun, of the physical sun, the heart of the sun, the whole principle of love and truth. On the other end of the spectrum, it becomes what we call our glamours. So there is a process of detaching and reorienting ourselves that is now being called into expression. So the challenge is to look beyond, step out of the illusion, the Maya of these 3 worlds that we work in, the mental, the emotional, the physical worlds that we are experiencing life here, and to look beyond into what is true and beautiful and good. It's time for reorientation. And of course, Cancer being that it gathers us into itself. It is the nurturer, the mother, the womb of all things that are manifested in the physical world. So right now we have an opportunity to embrace and nurture our innate love for each other and initiate a new way of being and of living. And
Wow,
there we are.
there you have it. So let me ask you this one. When you talked about Neptune, generational, it's a generational planet.
Yes,
Are we and you talked about the us all the time. So
yes.
this is a group awareness that's going on, and does that so are the different generations that are ruled by when they were born into a generation and then this generation, are they are we seeing changes to our consciousness, to how we're acting in the world by generation, or the like this younger the Gen Zs that are coming up and moving into the political arena and the news arena and these kinds of things,
Yes.
using AI more? Uh, is Are we seeing generational differences in the world itself taking action?
That, yes, in fact, that's the plan right now. That's what happens. For instance, everyone in our generation, the baby boomers, within that period of transit around the sun, we all have Neptune in Libra. That's a generational thing, and what it is those souls that were born with that particular any particular setup are here as a group. Let's remember the whole experience now is not individualism. This is what has got us into trouble, because we're under that glamour that Neptune brings in, that we're separated from each other and have been. And it's the biggest lie that we bought into. So these generations, these waves of souls come in to hold as a group for the betterment, for the growth of humanity itself, and hold these energies. So it's Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. These are called transpersonal planets. They are governing us by generations, waves of expression of souls coming in to do a specific work. And that's what's happening right now. They're too far beyond our consciousness individually at this point. We haven't evolved to the point where we can handle those higher energies on our own. So, like I said, the experiment now is in group consciousness. So that literally started with Uranus in 18 in the excuse me, in the 1770, around 1776, when it was discovered, 1775. It is the planet of, oh my goodness, revolution. Go figure. What was happening in 1776? There was a lot of especially in this country, right? All of these souls that were born at that time were carrying a specific energy so that they could provide a bridging or a transition, and that's what's always been happening since then. Neptune in the 1800s and Pluto in 1930, actually. What was happening? It is power. Our generation has Pluto in Leo, for an example. The power to love, the power of love is what we understand. We are the love generation. Remember? Yeah.
Love and
Peace.
tie dye.
Peace. Yeah.
Peace,
Peace
love,
and
and tie
love
dye.
and
Yeah.
prosperity, right? So yeah, we are still those three major transpersonal planets have to rule us as generations. But I think that's really beautiful because it's that subconscious of that group that is trying to align itself with purpose. with those energies.
Okay, well, we don't want to take too much time, but I do have
Right.
another question
Okay.
because otherwise it'll fry our brains.
I know. Yeah.
So, this solstice that we're in right now with these alignments with these three planets, what would be the advice for us individually as part of the collective that we can look at to so-called do? Is there a doing here at all or just an awareness?
You know, as a group called humanity, this is going to offer us an opportunity to come into a heart alignment. And that we are being asked now to look at our past, what we have manifested, and start birthing, you know, from the womb of our very selves, start birthing those um, uh, things that will guide us now into a new way of living our lives, and recognizing that we are doing so, whether we think so or not, with each other and as a group. It's time to look at our goals. What do we want to manifest? What do we want to birth in this new world that is coming? And to be very conscious of that. And consciousness has to do with love. That is what love is. It's consciousness. So we have to get to the heart of things. And we have to start exercising our power to manifest in light. That's what is being offered right now. And these great planets are providing a challenge for us to take a look at what we have accepted and to break all that down so that we can rebuild.
Wow. So let me ask you this then. If you're going to do this every week, as the alignments of the planets change, as the sun and the moon and the planets do different, what you called squares and triangles and conjunctions, is there more detailed information given to us through all those phases?
Yeah, in fact, that's called, we have to look at the transiting planets around everything. You can do that by constructing an event chart of whatever it is you want to know. But then you look at those planets. I don't use anything less than Jupiter because they come and go, the personal planets. Jupiter is the first planet that stays in a sign for any length of time, 1 year. A lot can happen in 1 year. Those are the things we have to look at, right? So if you look at the transiting planets, it will tell a story of our challenges, our opportunities, where we need to be focusing, where we can grow, where we can contribute. These are great tools to have and to know, and it helps guide us into, you know, what we can open ourselves to. And so this is ongoing. And might I say that these great beings that we call planetary entities, they are using the energies of these constellations. Aries right now. Aries is of the great initiating force of the whole cosmic order is Aries, the place where the will of God is known, a place of divine ideas. Okay, Neptune is going into Aries. It's 1 degree. Saturn and Neptune and Jupiter. These are all initiating things that are going on right now. And of course, Cancer is a cardinal sign, an initiating sign. So it is time for a revolution of consciousness, a new direction. Yeah, it's exciting. And the more that we can be present within ourselves and with each other, we are bound to move forward on a path of love and of sharing ourselves. This is a great and amazing time. 2025 has been talked about for quite a while. It is a time of revelation, of transformation. That's what's happening. Yeah. And it's very healing for humanity, whether we think so or not.
Well, we're into healing.
We
So,
are.
so, all right. Well, I hope you want to continue to do this on a continual basis for all of us, because, even though it's mind-boggling in a while, I think if we keep hearing about this stuff, we'll absorb it into our consciousness. We'll be able to
Yes,
start acting from a different point of view, and I love how
right.
we'll be acting from love, from caring, from equality. And your talk is,
I think you're absolutely right, Paul. And what I know is much of humanity's challenges is because our focus has been turned towards the form world, and in many ways cut off from the source of our life. Okay, and us not remembering the truth about who we are and why we're here. And I'm hoping in the next however many weeks or months that we can delve into just exploring together some basic facts about this whole planetary life that's unfolding. That's the key to us moving forward, our healing together, by understanding the truth, the reality of what is really going on here. I look forward to
right
that.
on, right on. Well, this has been fun. And
Yeah.
it's
And
our
your
first.
idea.
Hey, the
Yeah.
male Aries hanging
Oh,
out with the
yes.
female
With the
Aries.
female Aries. Oh
We're going to
boy, look out.
explode the world here in the universe, the cosmos. Anyhow, if you have questions, we'll post this on the Soul Spa, Bev's page. And if you have questions, I'm sure you can just post it there. And we'll have more information as we go along. That was awesome, Bev.
That was
Thanks.
awesome, Paul. Thank
I'll
you.
just
And thank
turn
you,
off the
everyone.
recording here.
Yep.